Here's a little nonsense for you. First found in print in 1765. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon. Oh, hey diddle diddle, the cat and the...
What's this about a cat? Who's this cat?
It's just a cat I know.
A cat you know?
Yep, cat I know.
A cat with a fiddle that you know?
A cat with a fiddle that I know.
A cat with a fiddle with a song about it that you know?
It's quite a cat.
It's quite a song.
Well, there's more.
Well, go ahead.
Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle.
Oh, well, now, wait a minute. Now, what's the hey diddle diddle part?
That's the cat's name.
The cat's name is Diddle Diddle.
No, that would just be silly. That would really be silly. No, the cat's name is Diddle.
But you said diddle twice. You said hey diddle diddle.
Well, actually, the fiddle's name is Diddle.
Diddle the fiddle. A fiddle named Diddle?
Yes.
So you know a cat named Diddle with a fiddle named Diddle?
I know more than that.
Well, go ahead.
Okay. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon.
A cow. A cow. There's a cow now.
Yes, yes, there's a cow now.
And what's this cow doing there all of a sudden?
I told you. He's jumping over the moon.
A cow.
Yes, a cow now.
A cow now.
Yes.
Wow. Now, so there's a cat named Diddle, and there's a fiddle named Diddle, and now there's a cow named...
Now.
Now. Tell me now, and I'll know now.
I did tell you now. The cow's name is Now.
Now? A cow named Now?
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and there's more. Do you want me to tell it to you now?
Tell it to me, but don't call me now.
Okay, I'll tell it to you now, Thom. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon.
I have a few questions.
I'm shocked. Would it have anything to do with the little dog, maybe the dish, the spoon by chance?
Well, about them. Are any of them named Diddle or Now or Fiddle Foodle, Peedle Paddle, Rumpelstiltskin?
No, none of that.
None of that? Okay. And have we met everyone, or are we missing somebody? Will there be a camel with a cell phone or a penguin with a harmonica?
No. You've got everybody.
Well, then I have no further questions. Thank you very much.
Really?
Yeah.
You're
That's
okay?
fine.
The little dog laughed to see such sport, the dish ran away with the spoon, and you're fine with that?
I'm fine with that. I figure, well, a little dog laughing at a cat named Diddle and a fiddle named Diddle, that makes sense.
Okay.
And the dish and the spoon, well, I suppose that once the cow had jumped over the moon, the excitement was over. They probably got bored and split.
Okay, so I guess the 1765 portion of our evening nonsense is over, so we can tell a story now.
Well, it did get me thinking, and I think I should share something.
Uh-oh.
Hey, piddle paddle, a pig wore a saddle. A penguin played on a trombone. A camel showed up for a bounce on the couch, and he spent...
See, they knew how to do it in 1765.
I don't know how to end it.
I know how to end any rhyme.
You can end any rhyme.
I can end any nursery rhyme.
I'll start again.
Okay.
Hey diddle diddle, hey fiddle faddle, a pig wore a saddle, a penguin played on a trombone, a camel showed up for a bounce on the couch.
And he threw it out the window, the second story window.
A camel showed up for a bounce on the couch.
He threw it out the window.
I like it. Do another.
Mary had a little lamb, his fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, she threw it out the window, the second story window. Everywhere that Mary went, she threw it out the window.
I'll do one.
Okay.
Oh, little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider and sat down beside her and
threw it out the window, the second story window.
Along came a spider and sat down beside her and threw her out the window. I had a camel in my head.
I was going to say, don't try this at home, and maybe you really shouldn't.
Shall we?
Oh, yeah. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, we'll throw you out the window, the second story window. Up above the world so high, I'll throw you out the window. Woo! Was Was it something we said?
Thank you.
Okay, then. We will continue because times are tough all over.
There we go. Another first.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, it's on. Okay. Blimey.
It's on. What was that?
It's excitement. All right, let's go. And that's when everybody took the pictures, right? Right at that moment.
Times were tough all over, and it was time for Jack to get a job.
Oh,
Yes.
it was tough. Mama said, go get a job, and I always tried to do what Mama told me to do.
And sure enough, he went out looking for a job, and being Jack, he looked everywhere. He looked under rocks. He looked in trees. He asked the butterflies.
Oh, I could flap those for you. No?
But he couldn't find a job. He walked through town, and as he usually liked to do, he liked to wave at the princess. She was always out in the morning at the window.
She looks so sad.
Yeah. He finally got all the way to the other side of town when, sure enough, luckily, there was a farmer who needed help. Now, this farmer needed help digging taters.
I could do that. I'm sure I could do that.
The farmer showed him how to do it. You take a shovel. You poke in the shovel.
You poke in the shovel.
You kick in the blade.
Kick the blade in.
You dig it up. You put the potatoes on one side.
Okay.
And the extra dirt on the other.
There's a potato.
Yes. So do you have it down?
I can do this. I can do it. I can do it.
And
I poke in the shovel and I kick in the blade and I'm digging up taters. And the money gets made and I poke in the shovel and kick in the blade, digging up taters and the money gets made.
All day long,
I kick in
Jack
the-
worked.
Digging up taters and the money.
He worked hard, and sure enough, at the end of the day, the farmer gave him a penny.
A penny.
Jack was very excited.
I never had money.
He got a little too excited.
Oh, it's different on the other side.
On the way home, he started to play with the penny. And sure enough, he came to a creek and lost the penny.
Oh, right in off the bridge, right
By
in
the
the
time
water.
he got home, his mama came out. She was all excited because he did have a job, but
I'm working for the farmer digging
did he pay
taters.
you?
He paid me, and it's a penny, and it's in the creek.
oh,
Because I was.
okay, Jack. Now tomorrow, whatever the farmer gives you, put it in your pocket and carry it carefully home.
That would have worked.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I'll do that.
So the very next day, Jack walked through town, waved at the princess, and started to dig taters.
And I poke in the shovel and I kick in the blade, digging up taters, and the money gets made. And
He worked hard all day long. But as we said, times were tough all over, and at the end of the day, there was not a penny waiting for Jack. Instead, there was a nice, shiny bucket full of fresh milk.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Give my regards to your mama, Jack.
Oh, my mama, I will.
And Jack, being a good boy and remembering what his mama had told him, took that bucket of milk and poured it in his pocket. Now, as you can imagine, it was a very squishy walk home, and by the time he got home, he kind of looked like he'd had maybe a little accident. And when Jack got home and had the empty pail and his mama saw it, well, she, of course, began to wonder about Jack. And so she said, okay, Jack, now tomorrow, when the farmer pays you, just carry it carefully on your head. Can you do that, Jack?
Oh, that would have worked. I'll do that.
So the very next day, Jack went through town, waved to the beautiful princess, and started to dig
And I poke
taters.
in the shovel and kick in the blade, digging up taters, and the money gets made. And I poke in the shovel and I kick in.
Times were tough all over, and at the end of the day, there was no fresh bucket of milk. Instead, the farmer handed him a nice big wedge of cheese.
Wow, that's great. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Jack, being a good
yeah?
boy and remembering what his mama had told him, put it on his head and walked proudly through town. It would have been just fine, except it was a very hot day out that day, and the cheese began to kind of slide and melt into his eyes and his nose and his ears, and even though this story is set a long, long time ago, when he got home and his mama stepped out on the porch these days, she would have said, "Is that a cheeseburger standing on my porch?"
Oh, well, the
Oh,
farmer
they
gave me
tried to scrape
cheese and
some cheese off to eat, but it wasn't very It wasn't a very good dinner that night. Now, Jack. Now, Jack, tomorrow, whatever the farmer gives you, just carry it carefully in your hands. Just all the way home, just carry it carefully in your hands, and we will have something to represent all of your hard work during these tough times.
It's been a long week. I'll do that. That'll work.
So the next day, he waved to the princess. He dug taters all day long, and at the end of the day, the farmer gave him his very own barn cat.
Oh,
I'm going to call you.
I'm going to call you Diddle Diddle. I don't care what they say.
So, you know, I don't know if you've ever carried a barn cat before, but...
Oh, hey, stay still.
It wasn't working out very well halfway home.
Don't go up.
Diddle Diddle evidently didn't feel like being carried, and by the time Jack got home, there were some... well, there was no cat, and there was just scratches on his hands, and well, that made the iodine come out, and the bandages come out, and Jack's mama to go, "Oh, Jack.
Cuidado los gatos."
Oh. Now, Jack, tomorrow, whatever the farmer gives you, it was a barn cat, just tie a rope around it and just lead it home.
That would have worked.
Yeah, just lead it home, Jack. Can you do that?
I can do that.
So the next day, Jack walked through town, waved at the beautiful princess,
And
worked hard all day, and sure enough, at the end of the day, the farmer, no penny, no milk, no cheese, no cat. We have, this time, a big, huge watermelon. Jack was thrilled, and being a good boy, remembering what his mama had told him, he wrapped that rope around that big watermelon, and he led it home through town. It was great, and in fact, it got easier and easier as he went along. This was great. He was going to make it all the way home with the watermelon. His mama would be so proud. He got home and turned around, and all that was left was a tiny one little seed that he gave to his mama. It was very thin watermelon soup that night. Now, Jack, tomorrow's your last day of work for the farmer. The potatoes are almost all dug up.
Yeah.
So whatever the farmer gives you, just put it on your shoulder and carry it carefully home.
Would have been heavy, but it would have worked. Okay.
Can you do that?
I'll do that.
So the next day, Jack walked through town and waved at the beautiful princess. He dug taters for the very last time.
A digging up taters and the money gets made and a
potatoes were mile high on one side. The dirt was mile high on the other. The farmer was thrilled. Oh, Jack, you've worked hard all week. I wish I'd had more to give you. But I do have an extra donkey. And Jack, being a good boy and remembering what his mama had told him, put the donkey on his shoulder and began to walk through town. Now this time, instead of being the morning, when the princess was out, for some reason she was out that afternoon, and the princess, what you didn't know, is very sad. She'd been very sad for a long time, and she happened to be glancing out the window when Jack came walking by, and she began to laugh. And she laughed so beautifully and so loudly that all the townspeople began to laugh. And sure enough, the king heard and came out and was so thrilled with Jack that his daughter had laughed at Jack, and she was happy again that he gave Jack a gold coin.
A gold coin? Wow, thank you. Oh, I'm glad you're happy.
So excited. Jack thought about it a minute.
Hey, you know, I carried you this far, you carry me.
And sure enough, he rode that donkey home all the way.
Put that in my pocket.
He had learned a lesson. He made it all the way home, and he told his mama all about his adventure.
Oh, and I was coming by, and the princess laughed, and the king was so glad he gave me this. A gold coin?
A gold coin. That looks like, Jack, I think that could be like 14 carats.
It might be 18 carats.
It could be 24 karat gold.
That's so many carats.
We love carats.
Oh, it's so... All those carats.
And that gave them an idea. And so now, if you were to walk by Jack and his mama's place, This is what you would hear coming from the field.
And we're poking the shovel and kicking the blade, digging up the carrots and the money gets made. And we're
poking the shovel,
kicking the blade, digging up carrots and the money gets made.
And that's the story of the time that Jack got a job. Thank you, you're very kind. Legs a little stretch. We know some of you know this song, and you will catch on very carefully and easily. Get ready to move. We come from the mountains, we come from the mountains. Go back to the mountains, turn the world around. We come from the mountains, go back to the mountains, turn the world around. All right, we're gonna be water next, however you wanna be water. We come from the water, we come from the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. Right, the fire. We come from the fire, we come from the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. Big sky. We come from the sky, we come from the sky. Go back to the sky, turn the world around. We come from the sky. Go back to the sky, turn the world around. Everybody skate, all skate. We come from the mountains, we come from the mountains. Go back to the mountains, turn the world around. We come from the mountains. Go back to the mountains, turn the world around. Yes, go back to the mountains, turn the world around. Excellent, thank you very much.